Welcome to day 28 of our school year. Get that 28th box filled in, so you should have 2 left here. Let's go ahead and get down our beginning fraction. Our denominator is 180 because we have 180 total school days. And we're on day 28. So let's find our factors of 28. 2 factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. And then using the commutative property of multiplication, we can write it as 28 times 1. Now we're going to go through our divisibility rules in an orderly fashion. After 1, we try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. 28 does end in an even number. 8 is even. So 2 is a factor. 2 times 14. 14 times 2. Now we try 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 10 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 4. One of the things we can check for 4 is if the second factor with 2 is even. It is, so 4 will be a factor. It's 4 times 7, 7 times 4. Now all we need to check are the counting or natural numbers between 4 and 7. That's 5 and 6. You just have to see if those two work. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in an 8, so 5 is not a factor. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. 2 is, 3 is not, so 6 is not a factor. Then we get to 7 and we are done. Also, when our second factor is prime and 7 is prime, we're done. So let's list our factors from least to greatest. 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, 28. We have 6 factors. That is more than 2 factors, so it is composite. Now we need to find our greatest common factor. So we try our greatest factor here and see if that works. If it doesn't, we keep going down until we find one that does. And so we're making groups of 28. Does not matter what your groups look like, just as long as there's 28 in each, and you keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. Let's see. I have 2 plus 20 is 22, plus 6 is 28. 4 plus 20 is 24, plus 4 is 28. 6 plus 20 is 26. Plus 2 is 28. Then 8 plus 20 is 28. 20 plus 8. I get 12 left over, so that means 28 did not work. So now I need to try 14. Remember to keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. So I'm going to make a group of 14, 10 plus 4. And then I have 6 plus 8 is 14. So let's see. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know 2 times 7 is 14, so I'm going to use that to help me make some of these groups. You can always count. That will get you to the right answer. It may take a little longer, but it's better to get to the right answer slowly than the wrong answer quickly. but try to use any patterns or things you know about numbers to help you get your groups done here. Okay. 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. 4, 7, 10, 13, 14. And I still have 12 left over. So that means 14 did not work. Let's try 7. So let's see. 7 and 3 plus 4 is 7. And 6 plus 1 is 7. There we go. So make sure you go and put all your shaded into groups of 7 first, and then do your unshaded. Okay, 2 plus 5. 5 plus 2. 1 plus 6. 4 plus 3. 'If I cut off 3 from 10, I get 7. So this is another way I can make my groups of 7. Okay. 3, 6, 7, 5, 7. Okay. Let's see. That's 9, not 6. 3, 6, 7, and it looks like I have a remainder of 5. So 7 didn't work. One of these is going to work. So let's try 4. Let's make groups of 4. First in our shaded area. 4 is a perfect square, so I can use that to help me make groups. So we're making our groups of 4. Remember, your groups do not have to look like mine, but you do need to have 4 in each group, and you want to keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. So 4, finally we found one. 4 worked. That means 4 is our greatest common factor. Now let's count up how many total groups of 4 we have. Well, each of my rows here has 5, so I can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 5 more is 45. How many do I have shaded in? Well, I have 5, 6, 7 shaded in. Now that I've done my division with my model, I'm going to do it with my algorithm. So I'm dividing by my greatest common factor, which is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 24. 4 times 4 is 36. 4 times 4 is 48. 4 times 4 is 52. 4 times 4 is 54. 4 times 4 is 55. 4 times 4 is 56. 4 times 4 is 57. 4 times 4 is 58. 4 times 4 is 59. 4 times 4 is 60. 4 times 4 is 70. 4 times 4 is 81. 4 times 4 is 82. 4 times 4 is 83. 4 times 4 is 84. 4 times 4 is 85. 4 times 4 is 86. 4 times 4 is 87. 4 times 4 is 88. 4 times 4 is 89. 4 times 4 is 100. 4 times 4 is 200. 4 times 4 is 300. 4 times 4 is 400. 4 times 4 is 500. 4 times 4 is 600. 4 times 4 is 700. 4 times 4 because everything was put into groups of 4, the shaded and the whole area. Okay. Now make sure that you are using numbers you actually know and aren't just taking ones from the fraction, because we need to do it separately to check to see if it works. If we're using numbers that we already got somewhere else and we had made a mistake over there, then that's not helping us. I'm going to do 4 times 25 because I know 4 quarters makes $1 or 100 cents. 4 times 25 is 100. Numbers the same, zeros a game. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Let's see, I know that 2 times 4 can get me 8. So to get 80, I just need to move it over a place. So 20 times 4, placeholder moves it over a place. 2 times 4 is 8. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Add these partial quotients. I get 5, I get 4. Okay, over here, I know that 4 times 5 is 20. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros a game. And then 2 times 4 is 8. Numbers the same, zeros a game. So I have a remainder of 0. And 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, we still need to check our answer. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, I don't need to actually add that 0 because it won't change the result. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16 tens, plus 2 more tens would be 18 tens, or 180. 4 times 7 is 28. So let's check 180. That does match our dividend, so I check. 28 does match my dividend, so I check. That means my numerator is definitely 7, and my denominator is definitely 45. All right, let's go ahead and get this written down in our data collection page. Still in trimester 1, week 7. Today's date is 9/17/19, and our fraction for today is 7/45. Let's get out our number line. We did groups of 4. So here we have 5/45, which is equivalent to 4/36, which is equivalent to 1/9. It's also equivalent to 10/90. We have 6/45. That is equivalent to 12/90 and to 2/15. And then today is 7/45. It does have an equivalent fraction in the 2's. And then here, 28/180. So this is our equivalent fraction in lowest terms, or our simplest form. Let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.